Hello, hi, my name is Sandra, and I will be speaking about the basis of evolutionary theories in psychology. This presentation outlines the core concept of evolutionary psychology and how it can explain human behavior. Introduction. Can you believe the idea that seemingly ordinary behaviors like dressing up for a date can be rooted in evolution? Our desire to impress potential mate is like how animals use displays to attract partners. While our method may have become more sophisticated, the underlying drive for reproduction remains the same. Evolution simply refers to change over time. In the context of psychology, evolutionary theory focuses on how traits and behaviors that increase our ancestors' reproductive success became ingrained in us. There are two main classes of adaptations. The first is survival adaptations. These are mechanisms that help our ancestors survive. Environmental threats like developing a craving for fats and sugar for long-term energy or fearing dangers like snakes. Reproductive adaptations. These adaptations help our ancestors compete for mates and reproduce. Charles Darwin's theory of sexual selections explain how these adaptations evolved. Sexual selections theory. Sexual selection theory explains how some traits and behaviors evolved not for survival, but to give individuals an advantage in attracting mates. This theory has two main processes: introsexual and intersexual selection. Introsexual deals with competition. Members of the same sex compete for mates. This is seen in animals like stags, locking anthers, and humans participating in competitive activities. Victors often have more opportunity to reproduce. So kind of like a boxing, and the winner gets to choose someone. Intersexual selection is where preferred mate are chosen. This usually deals with women. So members of one sex, usually women, female, have preference for certain qualities in a mate. These preferences, such as a peacock's colorful feathers, can become more primitive over time because individuals with those traits are more likely to reproduce. Gene selection theory. Modern evolutionary theory emphasizes genes as the unit of heredity that influences how organisms behave and reproduce. Genes that help organisms survive and reproduce are more likely to be passed on to future generations. Understanding evolutionary psychology. Evolutionary psychology examines the human mind through the lens of evolution. It focuses on psychological adaptations, which are mental mechanisms that evolve to solve problems related to survival and reproduction. These adaptations differ from psychological adaptations, which are changes in the body due to environmental forces. An example of a psychological adaptation is sexual jealousy. When someone perceives a threat to a romantic relationship, they might experience jealousy and take actions to protect that relationship. While jealousy can be harmful, it can also motivate individuals to invest in their relationship. So evolutionary psychology is a wonderful thing. It can help and it can also hurt, from my understanding, from a psychological adaptation viewpoint. Sexual strategies theory. Sexual strategy theory, based on sexual selection theory, proposed that humans have evolved different mating strategies. These strategies can be short-term or long-term and are influenced by factors like cultural, social contexts, and personal desirability. The theory suggests that due to the biological differences in parental investments between men and women, they tend to have different mating strategies. For example, a woman who bears a greater cost for pregnancy may be choosier about mates, while men may be more likely to engage in short-term mating. However, both sexes invest more in relationship when seeking long-term partners. Error management theory. Error management theory focuses on our thinking and decision making evolved in situations with uncertain outcomes. For example, if you hear a rustle in the woods, you might assume it's a dangerous animal and avoid it. This is an evolutionary bias that prioritizes avoiding costly errors, like being bitten by a snake, over missing out on potential benefit, like a safe shortcut home or to somewhere. Error management theory explains how these biases can influence our behavior in various domains, such as visual distance illusion, overestimating heights, and the audiolumin bias, perceiving approaching sounds as closer. In the content of mating, error management theory, EMT, predicts that men may misinterpret friendly cues from women as sexual interests over sexual over perception bias. In conclusion, sexual strategy theories and error management theories are two examples of evolutionary psychology theories supported by research. Evolutionary theories offer a unique perspective on human behavior, suggesting that many of our thoughts and actions are rooted in our evolutionary past. The end.